Hello everybody, welcome back. I hope you're doing great. It is sunny today. I'm happy. We will see if it rains later, but so far I have been able to record a lot today, so that's good. But for today we have another review. Now this one is a little bit weird. Not weird, but it's different. It is not Korean or Asian series or movie, but it's based on true events that actually happened on this place. And that's also very confusing as to why they made a movie about this instead of a documentary, but we're gonna talk about it at the end. But I'm talking about the movie iHOSTAGE. This was released on Netflix not too long ago. It was released I didn't put when it was released, but it was released this year. I think it was released in April. It is an hour and a half kind of movie. It feels longer though. And when you if you watch it, you will understand why. But I'll tell you a bit of why it feels very longish. But it is an hour and a half. It is a movie from the Netherlands. So I saw this movie with the original audio, which is Dutch, but with English subtitles. I usually like watching stuff like that. Like if the language in the movie or series is Russian or whatever it may be, Chinese, I will listen to that with English subtitles. I don't like using like English audio or anything like that because I feel like I lose the drama on it. I don't know, it doesn't sound the same. I don't know, I feel like I miss stuff. So I watched it with original audio, honestly, and it is based again on a true story that happened a couple of years ago, which I'll talk about it at the end. I'm gonna tell you about what this is, but honestly the first thing you will notice is that this is gonna be very short because things happened, but not enough happens where it feels like a full movie. That's my main issue with this. Now I do know it's based on true events. Things can, not everything's gonna be released to the public. Great, but I think there wasn't enough to make a movie out of this. I think this should have been a documentary, but whatever. I'm gonna tell you what the movie is about very quickly because this honestly is not gonna take that long. Because it's very little what happens in this movie. Okay, so first off, we meet our main character, which is called Ilian. I'm gonna try my best to say the names as best as I can. He's got a new place, he has moved there, and he's talking to the wife, and by the conversation that they're having, you can kind of tell they're having problems with the money. In a way, she kind of want to spend more, but he doesn't, and he wants to save, so money is an issue. But either way, that doesn't stop him from getting new AirPods. She's like, do you have any speaker? And he's like, yeah, I lost my AirPods in the train, I don't know where they are. And she's like, you should get ones on the Apple store. I don't want you having me a speaker. And he's like, okay. So, having money problems doesn't stop you to getting AirPods, and they're expensive as far as I know. So he does go to the Apple store. There's a bunch of people there. He is talking to the salesman, blah blah blah, and there in comes another main character in a way, our bad guy, our hostage taker, I don't know how you want to call him, which we later on in the movie know that his name is Amar Ajar. And he comes in the store, places it back down, and he takes out a gun and be like, everybody don't move, everybody on the floor. And he started telling people to, do all this stuff, and to not move. There is this employee there that he is able to take 3 clients into a closet that they have that can only be opened with working, like an employee ID card essentially. You don't need to know everybody there. You just need to know that the employee's name is Mingus, and he's there with another guy, a woman, and her daughter. That's all you need to know. Outside of the store, everybody's leaving. Honestly, nobody's listening to him. Some of the people go to the second floor. There's this like staircase that goes around. They do go to the second floor and barricade the doors and all that. And somehow Amar doesn't notice that people went to the second floor. I don't know how, but he didn't. But most people, honestly, when running out of the store, didn't pay attention to anything that he was saying. Except Ilian. Ilian just stays there, and as soon as Amar sees him, he's like on the floor. And he like cups his hands at the back, him on the floor. And outside there is 2 police people that were roaming around, that they saw people running away from the Apple store, and the mother is like shooting at them and making them see that he has a bomb on his chest, and these policemen are able to communicate with the station and everybody like, hey, this is happening in the Apple store. In a very short amount of time, they had all police people there. They were able to get out the 2 police people that were kind of in the middle of everything, and the roads were closed. Like, everything was done very quickly. Amar lets them know that he has a bomb in his body and all of that, and he says, I want a negotiator. So the negotiator ends up being a woman called Lynn. She is there with the police in the station and all of that, and during the movie she and Amar talk a lot, okay? She's able to get his name. He says that he wants $200 in Bitcoin and a way to get out that is safe. And during the call, she's able to make him trust her in a way, technically. So a lot of the movie is them talking, honestly. Mingus is able to use the little girl's phone to call the police and let them know that they are still in the store, that they are in the closet and all of that. And there's this detective that calls him a lot to make sure that they're okay. And Amar doesn't know that he is there in the closet. There's this part where the detective is like, you need to stay quiet, but it is fine because there's music in the store. And Mingus is like, not for long, because apparently once the store closes, the time of closing starts, everything turns off and the alarm turns on, and any movement can make the alarm sounds. So Lynn decides to talk to Amar and be like, hey, this is going to happen, please do not move. It happens for a few seconds and everything but comes back up, which makes Amar not trust Lynn anymore. She's like, I told you about it. And he's like, yeah, but nothing happened, so you lied to me. You made me stop, and that means you were planning on shooting me or something because I was stopped in the middle of the store. So he doesn't want to communicate with Lynn anymore, and they end up talking with another guy that is part of like the negotiating team. But that's what makes him not talk to Lynn anymore. They were able to save the people from the second floor. Mingus tells them about this other back entrance that the SWAT teams, or whatever it's called there, uses to get them out, and Amar doesn't know. Lynn is kind of keeping him occupied with her, talking to him, so he doesn't notice that there were people on the second floor being rescued. So that happens, good thing. And to finish the whole thing, I told you it was very short. Amar is talking to the one guy in the negotiating team because he doesn't want to talk to Lynn anymore. And Ilian is like, I need you to ask for water. I need water now. He has a heart condition. He needs to take pills. He's able to take them at the beginning of the movie, but he needs to take them again, and he cannot be drinking energy drinks, which is basically what Amar has been drinking this whole movie. Amar asks for the water. They take the water to the door with this rubber thingy, goes back. Amar takes Ilian at the front, so Ilian is here, Amar is at the back. He opens the door and he tells Ilian, like, go pick up the bag with the water, and Ilian takes this chance to run away, making Amar run towards him to kind of catch him. And there is this he's not police, he's from the military, and this big truck that hits Amar and he falls to the floor hurt, of course. This is very weird because people around is telling this guy good luck because apparently there's going to be an investigation about this, but at the same time they're like, good job. They're able to save Mingus and the people in the closet. When everything is done, Ilian is able to go back to his place, hotel room, wherever he is, and he cries, you know, because he's happy that he's alive. At the end of the movie, they let us know a few things. So they let us know that this is a true story, that the hostage taker was taken to the hospital, but he died the next day. On 2022, the hostage and the people that were in the closet received a hero's pin for bravery from the city of Amsterdam. And after 4 months of investigation, they concluded the DSI operator acted lawfully, which is the one that hit Amar with the car, and would not be prosecuted. And it was never clear what the hostage taker motive was with everything. That's the movie. If it feels short, I understand. Here's the thing. This movie has its parts of action, but everything is talking. It's either Amar talking with Lin, the negotiator, or it's Amar talking with Ilian about his life, why he's doing this, that type of a thing. Nothing else happened. There's not more action, and also the talk is the police between them trying to figure out what the hell to do. Other than that, there's really nothing else. There's nothing constructive of just making this feel like a full movie. Other than what I told you, the rest is talking. That's all. It took half of the movie for Lin to know Amar's real name. There isn't a lot here to work with. I understand it's a true story. I did find a little bit more about the true story, but either way, there isn't that much. The movie's long. The movie feels really long because there's a lot of talking. This is probably what happened in the true events, but it's not enough to make it a movie, in my opinion. Again, it's just, other than that, there isn't that much else. Now, when I watched it again, I was very confused. I was like, what is this? And then I realized it was a true story. So I did found an article on Time. It was by Isadora Wandermurum, I think that's how you call it. The true story behind Netflix chilling Dutch thriller iHOSTAGE. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but on February 22, 2022, a 27-year-old armed man entered the Apple Store in I cannot say that, Amsterdam, and held a customer at gunpoint for nearly 5 hours. He demanded 200 million in cryptocurrency and a safe exit from the building, but nothing went according to plan. Bobby Bormans, director of the Netflix new thriller iHostage, lives nearby the store and remembers the surreal night. Fortunately, hostages situations like this are scarce in the Netherlands. That's what made this incident bizarre. A man demanding 200 million in cryptocurrency just to take a hostage in broad daylight on one of the busiest squares in Amsterdam, he tells Time. Bormans had just finished filming Netflix series The Golden Hour, based on a fictional terror attack in Amsterdam, when a neighbor messaged him about the unfolding crisis. He passed by the scene shortly after and was struck by the silence that lingered once the chaos dissipated. Only bullet holes in the glass remained. That weird juxtaposition stayed with me. The surreal calm after the storm, it made me ask what happened during those 5 terrifying hours. It's nothing short of a miracle that also hostages survive. Of course, there's a symbolic weight of the setting itself. A global brand like Apple, known for its clean, peaceful spaces, a place of sleek design and calm, it became the scene of something truly horrifying inside out. Those lingering questions led to iHostage, releasing on April 18th, there we go, and inspired by the real events of that winter day 3 years ago. Here's what to know about the hostage crisis that shook the Netherlands and how it happened. It basically says that around 5:30 p.m. local time, an armed man dressed in camouflage gear entered the store and took a 44-year-old Bulgarian man hostage while the customers attempted to hide. People on the upper floors of the building where the Apple Store occupies the ground level also became trapped. Police arrived within 10 minutes and were met with gunfire. At least 4 shots were fired. Authorities suspected the man was carrying explosives and quickly locked down the area. Special forces and ambulance flooded the scenes, and workers in nearby stores were ordered to shelter in place. And then over the next few hours, police evacuated 70 people from the building, including the one hiding in the store. In the film, while working on the script, we consciously focused solely on the night of the hostage situation. Of course, you have to condense time in any film, but most of the story beats you see on screen and are based on things that actually happened. We changed the dialogue and gave all characters fictional names so they couldn't be traced back to the individuals involved. In reality, hundreds of people were involved in the standoff, but we focused on 5 main characters, each from different backgrounds, each offering a unique perspective. I said I wasn't going to read the whole thing, and here we are. The demands, again, I already talked about what he wanted to demand. And then at 10:30 p.m. after hours of negotiation, the gunman asked for water. Police used a robot delivering the water, and delivering a bottle. As the hostage walked towards the store entrance to retrieve it, he seized the moment to flee and run outside. The gunman gave chase. At that moment, a special police unit vehicle accelerated and struck the suspect. He fell unconscious, and videos of him lying on the ground circulated widely on social media. They later on confirmed that the man survived, was taken to the hospital, and he was not carrying explosive. And then a day later, they confirmed that he had died from his surgery for his injuries. Apparently, what the gunman did sparked controversy across the Netherlands. The hostage incident sparked intense public debate in the Netherlands, mainly because of the unconventional way the police brought the situation to an end by using a car. It was a unique and highly decisive act of violence, the result of a split-second decision made by one of the special operators, says Bormans. A video of the final moment went viral almost immediately after, and the entire country began discussing it. Some people applauded the action, while others were more hesitant or conflicted about how it was handled. They didn't press charges, like they said at the end of the movie. And then a trouble passed. The perpetrator was eventually revealed to be an Amsterdam resident with a criminal record. At the time of the incident, he carried a handgun and an automatic weapon. According to the Amsterdam-based Dutch newspaper Het Parool, authorities identified him as Abel Rahman Akkad. Names. A name already known to social services. Lawyer Jenkins van den Brick, I swear. Names, who had represented Akkad in multiple legal cases, spoke to the newspaper about the perpetrator's death on behalf of his mother, who hired him following the hostage situation. He has had a previous encounter with the criminal justice system, including weapon possession. He also received a sentence of 60 hours of community service, 1 month of conditional release, and 3-year restraining order for harassing ex-girlfriend, the newspaper reported. My hope is that this film will spark an important dialogue about the increasing number of individuals with mental health issues living on the street. Many well-meaning everyday citizens are falling through the cracks, often due to financial difficulties or mental health challenges, and are being overlooked by our police health services. These are individuals who might have received assistance before tragically resorting to such terrible actions. It's heartbreaking, and I hope that our government will start dedicating more time, energy, and resources to provide our public health system, says Bormans. He hopes the film showcases the human resilience that emerges in moments of crisis and our capacity to support each other even in the most challenging times. At the same time, I hope the film serves as a captivating thriller, keeping you on the edge of your seats while also touching you emotionally. I want the audience to experience both the intensity and the heart. Ultimately, it's up to the viewer to decide who they root for and how they interpret the depicted violence. I cannot speak anymore. So that's the whole thing. I understand the vision that the person had. It makes sense because, again, you have the action parts and you have the talky parts and everything, the most part, and it does keep you on edge at some point. But I don't think there was a lot there to do a movie with like this. This movie was in the top 10 on Netflix. I never know to believe it, because when movies comes out, a lot of people are watching it, so of course it's gonna be on the top 10. But I usually wait a bit and see if it's still on the top 10, honestly, because if a lot of people are watching it, of course it's going to be on the top 10 on Netflix, honestly. So this movie, it's not a horrible movie, okay? It's not great either. I don't want to say too much because, again, it's part of a true event. People pass through this, and that is horrible. Honestly, it looks like a horrible thing that happened there. But for a movie, there's not a lot to it. He says he has to condense a lot of things, makes sense, but too much talking and just not enough. I don't know, I don't think there was enough. I think the way to do this is how Netflix do a lot of things like this, which is documentary. If there's not people that you can interview for this, interview the guy that made the movie and he walks you through the whole thing. If you find people that you can interview, great. But I think a documentary would have been a lot better than this, because the movie, it shows that he's definitely condensing a lot of the things weren't put on it, because it is a film and less than 2 hours or close to 2 hours and a half is all you have to put something that lasted hours essentially. So it's not a horrible movie, but it's not great either. I feel like a documentary would have been better to show probably everything that happened properly there. But I will say the director did their best to make this a movie. It's things that he saw from where he lived, or she, I think it's a male, but from where they lived, they saw it. And they pattern, they see the change in scenery passing through that store. So understand the vision that the person had with the movie, with the whole mental illness and stuff. I saw it in the movie. So me reading this article, a lot of the things that happen in the movie that I talked about makes sense, but I still feel there isn't enough. And I feel like that's what a lot of people are saying online when I was looking what people were thinking about. There isn't enough for a movie here. It has the action, it has talky parts, but there's not enough. Hello. So as me filming the video you're watching, I wish that you can tell I'm literally wearing the same thing. I was just recording it. My camera was like, your car is full. Fine. I passed it. I put it back on my camera. I deleted everything. Still says full. I think the memory card got fucked. Which honestly I have had the memory card for years, so it lasted me a long time before this, but it doesn't do anything. I cannot turn it on. I have the battery charging, but the card just says full. When it's not full, it's literally empty. So I think I need a new memory card. But to finish this video, the last thing that I was going to say was that I was watching what a lot of people were saying online about this movie, and pretty much everybody had the same idea of it doesn't feel like a full movie. It feels like things were missing. I'm pretty sure it's because this is based on true events, which is why I think a documentary would have been better. I have seen documentaries where there's one person that went through all of this, or that saw everything and they wanted to figure out what happened. So they start talking to people and telling you the story as they go. Something like that would have been better. Maybe the director could have done something like him figuring out what happened and telling the story as he figures things out, because he saw it from where they leave, I'm guessing. So maybe something like that would have been better than a movie, because the movie doesn't feel complete. It feels like things were missing, but it is based on a true events. So of course things are gonna feel like it was missing, because pretty sure not everything is on the movie. You can see like every mess. I'm so sorry. I try not showing the mess, but it still shows, especially up there. Those are like squishmallows, we haven't taken them out. Whatever. The point is that a lot of people from what I have seen feel the same thing. So again, I have the feeling documentary would have been a lot better than a movie like this, but I understand the vision from the director, especially reading the article with you guys and all that. I understand the vision. I understand what he wanted to show and what he wanted the public to feel while watching the movie, and I definitely felt some of those things as I was watching it, for sure. So did the director do what he wanted to do? Yes, but I still have the feeling that the documentary would have been better. So I'm gonna leave this here because I have a kitten here that he needs food now, and also I'm very tired. I'm gonna give food to him. He's called Popeye. I'm not gonna bring him here honestly, because he just needs food right now. Either way, I'm gonna leave this here. If any of you have seen this movie, please let me know what you thought of this. Have you know about these true events that happened? Let me know in the comments below. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing great, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Bye bye.